Star Trek Discovery Season 3 premiere. I'm Joe. Please subscribe to this channel. Season 2 left off with Discovery shooting itself into the future. That gives me some level of hope for the season, that we're finally going to have something truly new from Star Trek. We had new with Picard. Maybe it wasn't much of an adventure. It was just kind of Picard acting old and grumpy. But this is actually new. This is them set a course for something new. So there's some promise, but it's still Discovery. There was a thing called the burn. And the burn happened about 100 or so years before the current timeline they're in, which is about 900 years from where they were. And the burn was basically all the dilithium just blew up. The dilithium just burned. That's the burn. And that pretty much altered Starfleet and altered the galaxy. Beyond that, we don't really know what the burn means as far as where the galaxy is, who's in charge, is anybody in charge, is there complete lawlessness, is there any kind of overriding government? We don't know any of that yet. We're going to find that out. But we know that Starfleet and the Federation is basically not what it was, or almost gone. There's remnants we learn. But the burn. There's a chance that they're going to try to reverse it, but I hope not. I hope they just stick with this. They don't try to reverse the burn and go back in time. Just let it be. But you know, that's Discovery. So it always feels like they set something up that's going to be a little more light and airy, and then as it goes along, it becomes an end of the world proposition. We'll see if that's what the burn ends up being, only in reverse. They try to stop the end of the world proposition, but hopefully not. But we are 900 years in the future, and that means that everything is more better. A technical term. So we saw everything as just flashier and cooler looking, and they did a pretty good job of showing that in the way the boards were. Everything was more tactile, and things were raising up and materializing. It's almost like there's little replicators throughout the universe. So things are constantly materializing and dematerializing. So that was kind of the more futuristic thing you got. You know, cloaks are more of a thing. Portable transporters are personal transporters. The weapons are bigger and louder and look more cooler. The guy got up and just his mouth was cleaned by just looking in a mirror. So they made it look more futuristic. That's pretty cool. They tried to make her be the conduit for us to see how everything is newer and through her eyes. Problem with that is that it's already so far in the future, and everything is so advanced already that even though it looks cooler, it's like it doesn't hit home with us, because we've already seen all this stuff in some way or shape or form. Something could be 100 years in the future, something could be 1,000 years in the future, and it's future. The future is future, but they've tried to differentiate, so I give them credit for that, and they're trying to show Michael be excited, but I don't know if it hits home with us the same way as it will with her. That's fine. On to our main character, Michael Burnham. And wouldn't you know it, she is still overly emotional. For someone who was raised in a Vulcan household, she's pretty emotional. You know, we've seen her evolve into this, and there was always emotion, and proudness, and you go girl, or her crying, or her getting emotional. But this was just like the episode was her doing that over and over again. We got her crash landing, we got her getting happy, then we get her getting upset that she can't find Discovery, and then she carries on. Then later in the episode, we're treated to her getting induced with drugs and going through euphoria, and her own ego in the euphoria comes out as she starts getting happy about the fact that she alone saved the universe, which was kind of cool that we show her character a little bit, that she's a little bit of an egomaniac in some ways. I saw two new characters, basically. Book and Federation guy. I didn't catch his name. It was an Indian name. I'll learn it, I promise. Book was the courier, the scoundrel type, who we find out has a heart of gold, because he wasn't a courier or a scoundrel. He only double-crossed Michael because he's trying to save the creature who is an endangered species that those people were trying to eat. Essentially, they were trying to buy that thing so they could eat it because it's a delicacy, and he was trying to bring it to a sanctuary. So his double cross of Michael was for a good cause, and she's probably forgiven him and understands. And there we go, Book. Heart of Gold somehow prays in his eyes, his head brights up, and he can talk with plants and wildlife and animals. He has a fat cat. That's what we know so far. Book, that's the new character. Obviously, her love interest going forward, because we've already seen them kissing in the trailer. The other character she meets is the Federation guy. And that, of course, comes into the theme of the Federation. And that's one of the things that they're trying to reestablish that concept of the Federation being the best. And the Federation's gone, so we have to recapture that Federation and that the best. And how could the Federation be gone? Her getting all upset about it. We've gone through different incarnations of the Federation, and that was always sort of a theme that we learned in the original Star Treks, and then we went to the Next Generation. And then once Deep Space Nine came around, you start seeing the murkiness, the Section 31s, and what Cisco had to do with the war, and relocation of people in Cardassian space, and what happened in Star Trek Picard with them having a synth ban, and going on and on about the deterioration of the Federation we've seen from the shiny, beautiful beacon of hope that we were supposed to believe it was. And now it is again, because we're 900 years into the future and the Federation is no more, and all that is left are the people with the ideals, which is what this guy is. It's like a reboot for the Federation. It's almost like burning away all that stinky smell that we've had through all the downer stuff that's happened. So now you have just the ideal of the Federation, which was always getting to the point where it was better than the Federation itself. So now you have that restart. So they can rebuild the Federation and it could be the ideal that it was supposed to be. I hope it doesn't deteriorate into some kind of massive everything on the line thing. I hope they take this opportunity to explore, to see the new places, to learn about the new places, to maybe have a new adventure every week. I have hope for this season. I hope it's good. I hope my hopes aren't dashed, and I hope you enjoy this video. Please subscribe to our channel. Until next time, I'm Joe.